Dear students, today we're going to start another chapter, 13th chapter, Breach of Contracts and Remedies. The main points that we're going to discuss today are the different remedies for breach of contract and different kinds of damages. The very first topic is remedies for breach of contract. In the last video, we have discussed about breach of contract. What is breach of contract? When a contract is made, the parties to a contract are liable to perform their respective obligations. If parties are breaking the obligations, that's called a breach of contract. So simply breaking of the obligations are called a breach of contract. Today, we're going to check what are the different remedies or different solutions for breach of contract. If one party is breaking the obligations, what are the solutions? The very first one is rescission of the contract. The second one, suit for damages. Then suit upon quantum merit. Then suit for specific performance of the contract. And the last one, suit for injunction. So these five are the different remedies for breach of contract. If one party is breaking the obligations, the other party can use these remedies. The very first one, rescission of the contract. What is rescission? Which was discussed in the previous video. Rescission means cancellation, which means revocation or putting up an end to the contract. Cancellation of a contract is called a rescission. Where one of the parties to a contract commits a breach, the other party treats the contract as rescinded or cancelled and refuses the further performance. So rescission of the contract is one of the solution or one of the remedy for breach of contract. That is, if one party fails to perform his obligations, the other party treats the contract as cancelled. That is called rescission of the contract. Cancellation of the contract. If one party fails to perform their respective obligation, the other party can cancel the contract. So it is the one of the solutions, one of the remedy. The second method or second remedy for breach of contract is suit for damages. When a contract is broken, the injured party can claim for damages from the other party. If one party fails to perform their part, the other party, that is the injured party, they can claim for damages. What is damages? It is the monetary compensation for the loss sustained by the injured party for the non-performance of the obligation. If one party has sustained any loss due to the non-performance of the obligation, then the injured party have the right to claim for damages. Damages means monetary compensation offered by the party who fails to perform the obligation. There are different kinds of damages. The very first one, general damages. The second one is special damages. The third one is exemplary damages. And the last one is nominal damages. So again, I am summarizing. We have discussed the two remedies for breach of contract. The very first one was rescission of the contract, means the other party. If one party fails to perform the obligation, the other party can cancel the contract. The second remedy is suit for damages, which means if one party fails to perform their respective obligation, the other party, who is known as the injured party, they can claim for the loss occurred. That's called damages. So the very first one is general or ordinary or otherwise known as compensatory damages. What is general damage? When a contract has been broken, the injured party can recover from the other party such damages as naturally and directly arose in the usual course of things from the breach. So when a contract has been broken, the injured party may sustain some damages or some loss due to that breach of contract. Such damages which arise naturally in the course of things from the breach itself are called ordinary or natural or general damages. For example, A agrees to sell and deliver 10 bags of rice to B at the rate of rupees 400 per bag. The price is to be paid at the time of delivery. The price of rice rises to rupees 500. Earlier it was 400, now it rises to 500 per bag, and in consequence of that, A refuses to sell the rice. So due to that breach of contract by A, B sustains a loss of rupees 100 per bag. Suppose A delivered the 10 bags of rice as per agreement, B would have sold the same at the rate of 100 per bag and would have obtained a profit of rupees 100 per bag. So this loss is caused to be only due to that breach of contract by A. In this case, the injured party is entitled to get ordinary or general damage at the rate of rupees 100 per bag. So that's called a general or ordinary damages. So while calculating the general damages, it is calculated on the date of breach, taking into consideration the prevailing circumstances and not as a result of subsequent change in circumstances. So that is general or ordinary or compensatory damage. General damage or compensatory damage means it is when contract has been broken, the injured party can recover from the other party such damages as naturally and directly arose in the usual course of things from the breach. The second damage is special damages. It arises from the breach of contract under special circumstances. So special damage arises under special circumstances. In these damages, the aggrieved party may claim, besides general damages, for any loss he suffered due to special circumstances known to both the parties at the time of contracting. So special damage is an extra damage besides general damage. For any loss, the party suffered due to special circumstances. Let me explain through an example. A delivered goods to a parcel office to be carried to a place where an exhibition was being held and told the parcel office clerk that if the goods did not reach the destination on the specified date, if the goods did not reach the destination on the specified date, he would, that means A would suffer, say, a special loss. So the goods reached late. Now A is entitled to claim special damages. As he has already made a statement with the office clerk, if the goods did not reach the destination on the specified date, he would suffer a special loss. And the goods reached late. So he was entitled to claim special damages. So that's called a special damages. Special damages are those which arise from the breach of contract under special circumstances. The third one is exemplary or punitive or vindictive damages. These are awarded with a view to punishing the guilty party for the breach and not with the idea of awarding compensation to the injured party. So exemplary or vindictive damages are given to punish the guilty party for not performing the contract. So these damages are granted for injured feeling or injured suffering, etc. So exemplary damages have no place in the law of contract. But in case of breach of contract to marry, and in case of dishonor of check by banker, the court may award exemplary damages. If someone is making a promise to marry the other person and if he fails to perform that, the amount of damages will depend upon the extent of injury to the party's feeling. And in case of dishonor of the check, where there are sufficient funds to the credit to the customer. So these are the two exceptions for exemplary damages. Nominal damages. These damages are awarded simply to recognize the right of the party to claim for damages for the breach of contract. So what is the specific feature of nominal damage? Nominal damages are awarded in cases where the injured party is able to prove that a breach of contract, but he has not suffered any real or substantial loss. In some cases, there may be a breach of contract, but no material loss would have been caused thereby. So, in such situations, in order to recognize the right of the party, they can claim for damages. For example, A agrees to purchase a motor car from B for rupees 10,000. So, this is the contract. A agrees to purchase a motor car from B for rupees 10,000. But he commits a breach. The demands for cars far exceed the supply, and so B sells the same car. So B is selling the same car to C for rupees 15,000. That is without any loss of profit, but simply because there was no loss suffered by B. A, who has committed the breach, should not be allowed to go free. In such case, the nominal damages are awarded. So in this situation, B is not suffering any loss, even though he can claim for damages. That's called nominal damages. It is nominal damages are nominal in value and also known as contemptuous damages. Then there are mainly four types of damages. The very first one, general or ordinary damages, which means they are avoided only for the consequences which arise out of breach of contract. So damages paid for the consequences out of breach of contract is called general or ordinary damages. The second one, special damages. Special damages are those which arise from the breach of contract under special circumstances. And the third one, exemplary or vindictive damages. These are awarded with a view to punish the defaulting party who injured the feelings of others. And the last one is nominal damages. Nominal damages is awarded in cases where the injured party is able to prove a breach of contract, but he has not suffered any real or substantial loss. The next topic is rules regarding damages. The very first rule is that the injured party is entitled in the same position as if the contract had been performed. So the injured party can claim for damages if in the same position as if the contract had been performed. The second rule is that damages which naturally arise in the usual course of things from such breach can be recovered. That's called a general damages. Then the third one is that for getting special damages, the injured party has to prove that the other party knew at the time of making contract about such special loss from the breach of contract. So in order to get the special damages, the injured party has to prove in the court of law that the other party, that means the person who is making the breach of contract, he knew that at the time of making the contract about such a special loss that the injured party is going to face. Then only they can claim for special damages. Simply, in the court of law, the injured party has to prove the other party knew at the time of making the contract about such a special loss from the breach of contract. Then Compensation for quasi-contract as damages is the same as for contract. So, what is quasi-contract? Quasi-contract means they are obligations. Obligations which are created and imposed by law in the absence of a contract is called a quasi-contract. So, compensation for quasi-contract, just like that, contract for sorry, just like that, damages is given in the for a contract. Then law does not award damages which are either indirect or too remote. So which damages which are not the natural or probable consequence of breach of contract, then the court of law will not give any damages. So the damages should be caused, or it should be the after effect of the breach of the contract. Then only the court of law will allow damages. So these are the different rules regarding damages. The very first one, injured party is entitled in the same position as it was, as if the contract had been performed. Then damages which naturally arise in the usual course of things from such breach can be recovered. Then for getting special damages, they have to prove in the court of law the other party knew at the time of making the contract regarding such a special losses. Then compensation for quasi contract and damage, it is same as the damages in case of contract. Then law does not award damages which are not natural or probable consequence of the breach of contract.